Howdy do. Hey there, how are you? Hey, so what? So here I am. Hey, I want to try something, but I found this here, Bloody Kentucky. Ooh, not gonna go there. Hey, no, wow. So everybody likes a Bloody Mary. This one is actually designed to go with bourbon. So I want to try it, but I don't want to go high-end bourbon for something going in this. So what I bought was is Old Heaven Hill, and I bought this because, well, a couple reasons. One, I'm actually in Bardstown, where the Heaven Hill distillery is. We pour about a jigger there. And, well, again, this is not a high-end bourbon by any means. In fact, this only costs $10 a bottle. But despite that price tag, it's not the lowest end either. It is bottled in bond, which at one time, meant that was a good stuff. It's quite a different thing now, but it is bottled in bond. Um, it is 100 proof. So I'm going to make this drink, and then I'll read other information pertinent to this particular. Oh, it smells good. So again, I'm kind of doing this off the cuff here, as it were. I'm not home, so I don't have I don't have my celery stick and olives and onion or carrots that I might pour in a drink like this. So let me make a small version here. And let's try this here. Again, I'm kind of winging this, so work with me. Again, I mean, if I had, sometimes I like to put a scallion in here. Typically, you put a celery or carrot or various other. Sometimes you use pickled vegetables. There's a product out called Bloody Buddies, which are very good in these things. I'm kind of winging this one, so you're gonna have to bear with me here. Again, this is designed to go with bourbon, which is going to be a little bolder, and it's nice. It's very interesting. Again, some people would make this in a tall glass, so you've got more tomato product. The bourbon, this one isn't quite 50-50, but it is probably about 1/3 bourbon. I used about a jigger. I'd use jigger of bourbon to 2 jiggers of the Bloody Buddy, or the Bloody Kentucky. Got a little ice cube in there. It's very interesting. It's not as spicy as I personally like a Bloody Mary. So, for me in the future, yeah, I'd have to add a dash of something to it. Traditionally, a lot of places use Tabasco. I like hot sauces with a little more flavor, so I might throw something else in there. I know some gourmet places that put sriracha in there. I've got some hot sauces at home I really like. One in particular is my Joe Perry Boneyard Brew, which is very bold and very smoky, which I think would be beautiful in this. Because of the bourbon, actually, because it is a bolder drink than a typical Bloody Mary. The problem, I love a Bloody Mary, but vodka doesn't have flavor. So what you're doing is basically making your tomato juice alcoholic. This, what you're doing is you're having a drink with some flavor. So because my bourbon is a little smoky, um, I think the Boneyard Brew, that particular hot sauce would add some to this. There is a little bit of spice, but not as much as I personally like. It may be enough for many, though. I do like things very spicy. The celery seed is very prominent. You can really smell it on the nose. It is very prominent in the flavor. In fact, it probably, other than, tomato product, bloody, obviously. Probably the biggest thing that you taste and smell is the celery seed. Celery seed is very heavy. I haven't had this product before, and I'm going to try it again. I'm going to do a few of these throughout the week when I'm here, see if my opinion changes on this. It is interesting, though. Um, but since I'm not at home, I'm probably going to have to buy another hot sauce or something else to add to this. And I might see if I can find some cut celery I can add to the drink too, because that, I like having the celery in there. So I personally, I know it's not a traditional thing. It's something I personally like to add. Though I like to add an olive when I make a Bloody Mary at home. I add an olive. I also add a touch of olive juice to it. I know that's kind of my own personal spin, but every time I've made this for people, when I've added olive juice, they always notice something different, that they really like it, but they never quite know what I've done to it. And it's the olive juice because it adds a little dimension to your drink. I also like to, instead of along with the celery to stir, I many times I would like to add a nice green onion or scallion. I think that adds flavor as well. Again, I think this is a nice mix, but the predominant flavor is you get. I mean, it's celery seed, baby. I mean, I get a ton of celery, so you taste a lot of celery in this. There is some spice on the back end, but it's very muted for somebody with, a spicy palate like mine. You could tell it's there. Again, it may be enough for some, but for me, it's not even in the same ballpark. So I'm gonna have to do this again, but I'm gonna have to buy a hot sauce and kind of maybe get another thing or two to try to dress this up to where it works for my particular palate. But I would recommend trying it to anybody. I mean, it does have more flavor than a traditional, a Bloody Mary that's using vodka because you have got the complexity of a bourbon adding to it. But this particular mix, I'm getting just a ton of grunt load of celery. But as you can see, it is rather easy drinking. So there you go.